Hey guys, it's Swingman here, back with another upload. Today, I'm gonna do something a little different. I played 18 holes the other day, and I want to show you guys what my first 9 holes look like. Now, in full disclosure, this is the second time I've been out all year. First time I went out was about a month and a half, almost 2 months ago, and I haven't been swinging anything but a long driver for the last couple months. So bear with me with some of these iron shots. This front 9 that I'm going to show you right here is the worst of the 2 9s. I started dialing in my irons and my driver as the round continued, and I shot really well in the back 9. But this front 9 is pretty much what you'll see me do if I just walked up to the course with no warm-up and not much time to dial in any of my clubs, which you'll see some of these shots. But the first hole right there, it was 335 yard par 4. We're playing from the whites as well, so we're not playing from the tips. But I leaked my drive out right. I left my approach shot from 65 yards out a little short. I ended up chipping it past the hole onto the fringe, and then chipping it back and 2-putting it for 6 to start. So the good old double bogey to start the round is always a great feeling. Second hole is a very short par 4. You can see there on the scorecard it's only 260 so yards. So ended up hitting a 4-iron off the tee box. Didn't hit it clean, hit it short right. Approach shot, another 60 yards. Yeah, it was about a 50-yard shot in. And this is where my touch and feel is way off. You can see where I was shooting, coming back to the green and just chipping it back, and then it was kind of like a turtle shell green, so it kind of rolled off the far edge. So I was able to make a nice chip there near the hole and then tap that in for a bogey. So I started out the round with a double bogey and a bogey 3 over through 2 holes, and not ideal, but again, it was just me. I didn't really mind my score for the front 9. I know I could get my other clubs dialed in as I get more swings in. You know, if I was able to hit the range, I know I'd have been able to hit a lot better score. But here, this was a nice shot. This is from 112 yards out. I used a 56 degree and hit it about 7 feet from the hole, 7-8 feet. This one was just a misread. I thought it was going to break a lot more, and hit it a little hard there. You could see the greens were a little quick as far as taking off to the left there. But I did make a nice putt coming back up the hill for a par to give me a 3 on the 3rd hole. So this 4th hole is the first par 5 of the day, 528 yards, I believe, and dogleg right. So I let it rip here, and I hit a good drive. It was fading out to the right a little bit, but I never played this course before, so I wasn't sure how much room I had over there. I thought it would be on the right edge of the fairway. I ended up hitting it somewhere in those weeds to the right. So I took a drop here. So I was shooting 3 from about 160 yards out with a pitching wedge. Ended up chunking it there and left it about 40 yards short. So here I actually make a decent chip here up by the holes, tucked in the back left corner, and still getting a feel for the greens as far as my chipping goes. Well, just chipping in general, but you could see I was on the right side of the green as far as being off on the fringe. But I ended up hitting a 2-putt from here. So with the drop, I ended up, obviously not ideal, but still ended up with a 6 for a bogey on that. The next hole, we had a 154 yard par 3, and I hit a nice shot off the tee here. I believe it was a little into the wind with a pitching wedge, and I ended up hitting that bunker on the right side of the green. Now this is where I first shot the bunker out of the year. You could see no one's using rakes, so it was just a mess down there. Sculled this one. Good thing that Richard's right there, because I might have hit my buddy Anthony there. So took a second shot in the same spot, and ended up making a good shot here. So wish I could have done that the first time, but it's golf. So from there I was left with a pretty short putt, and here I thought I rolled it decent, but I was a little off with my line, and ended up tapping that in for a 5. ended up with the double bogey there, leading into the 6th hole. This one was another par 5, 529 yards. I hit this drive up the right side of the fairway. This one was smoked right here. So this is where I started feeling like my driver was getting dialed in. And this is my new Krank 6.5 degree play driver. I was really excited to use, and once I got this thing dialed in, this was my first round with it. It was feeling amazing. So here I was left with a 195 yard shot in. I used a 7-iron, and just like my other clubs, my other irons, I was a little off with the distance here. So I ended up about 30 yards past the hole and a little right, but if I would have hit the right distance, it would have been definitely a nice maybe 15-foot putt here. So chipped it back, which I wasn't too upset about this chip right here, and trying to get myself to save a par. And again, as far as my feel around the greens, putting has never really been an issue in terms of limiting to 2 putts. You know, as I started getting warmed up, I was starting to sink some 1 putts later in the round. But shots like this one was 172 yard par 3. I used a 9-iron. I legit ended up about 50 yards past the green. So you can see here I'm over these hills where those flags are, chipping back to the hole. And yeah, this shot might have been my best shot of the day. Just kidding. I sculled the crap out of it and ended up about 50 yards on the other side of the hole. And right there you could hear me saying, we're just having fun here. We're just having fun. The old good old Family Guy quote. So pretty much another 50-yard shot back in, and not sure why I can't just do this the first time. Chipped it, landed softly, and left myself a nice, probably about, I would say about a 20-foot putt left here. And it doesn't look like it from this angle, but it was a pretty far putt. So, no, maybe it wasn't 20 feet. It could have been 15 feet. But it was a good putt either way. Left myself with a bogey save there. And going into the 8th hole, this is another short par 4, 265 yards. I should be licking my chops getting to these greens. Another 4-iron off the tee box. Caught it off the bottom of the club face, a little right. You can see here I was a little short, a little right on that shot. But another opportunity for chipping for me, which this one, again, I wasn't too upset about. You know, landed up near the hole, rolled out a little bit, but I was really happy I was starting to catch the ball clean around the chipping area, because that's one part of my game that I really struggle with when I don't play often, is my touch and feel. So I wasn't too mad about that. And then from that distance, I was able to 2-putt. Actually, no, this one was a 3-putt. Hello. for a 6 here, or 5, I believe. It was a 5, yep. So I had a bogey on that hole on a reachable par 4, and this one is another par 5, a short par 5, 490 yards. This one I kind of came across the ball a little left to right action, but it was definitely in play. And I had about a 195 yard shot back in the really thick grass. Ended up hitting it a little thick and hit a tree not far in front of the green. I was still left with about a 60-yard shot into the green, but I had a nice little gap in between these 2 trees. This one was one of my better shots of the day. I ended up dropping it just past the bunker. Not much green to play with. It kicked left towards the hole and left me an opportunity for birdie. So, like I said, as far as my touch and feel, it was getting better throughout the day. But yeah, I ended up putting the camera down, and I wanted to focus in on my golf game on the back 9. And yeah, I started getting dialed in. Back 9, I ended up shooting. I had 2 bogeys and 1 birdie, and the rest were pars. So I was 1 over on the back to give me a total of 81 on the day. But that front 9, I shot a 44. Not ideal, like I said. But this was one of the holes on the back 9 after my drivers felt amazing. I was 360 yards straight to the green. It was a dogleg left. I was shooting over the trees. I ended up on the front edge of the green, which was an awesome shot. Ended up with a par. The front edge of the green, I still was left with about 60 feet to the hole. So yeah, I ended up getting in there for a par. This is the 18th hole. This was a par 5. I was one over going into the last hole on the back nine, and I decided to let it rip, and I hit about 380 yards off of a tree. Which ended up in the fairway and giving me about 190 yards in, and ended up hitting a par on that and ended the day with an 81, like I said. So overall, I mean, the front nine went pretty much as expected. Irons were all over the place. Chipping was here and there. So once I was just really focusing on making good shots, I started getting dialed in. So I'm hoping next time I go out, that was a 6:15 a.m. tee time. It was the first one of the day. You know, like I said, it was kind of a show and go. And show and goes when you haven't golfed in a long time is not the best idea. So hopefully next time I'll get some warm-ups, get a better round, and show you guys a little better content as far as my golf game. But I thought it would be fun to show you kind of what I deal with on my normal schedule basis, because I don't get out often, and when I do, I'm usually trying to get that really early tee time just to get out. So but with the World Long Drive kind of, you know, in who knows, we're trying to figure out what we're doing with our schedule. It's going to give me some more time to get out and golf more. So that I am excited about as far as working on. So we'll see where it goes. But I appreciate you guys watching. Let me know what you guys think about the golf vlog. You know, I'm going to try to hit different things moving forward. I want to try to find out what it is that you guys really like to watch, and see if it's more of an entertainment type things, more of a learning basis type things, whatever it is. You know, I'm going to provide the content that's going to get a lot of views, a lot of interaction, and something you guys could keep going back to my channel to enjoy watching. So I hope you guys did enjoy the upload. If you haven't already, please hit the like button and subscribe. Check me out on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter @the Swingman_. Thanks again, guys.